Right, so welcome back. So I'm moving on to the theories. So I've spoken about the first theory, which is the documentary hypothesis, the JEDP hypothesis. I'm moving to the next one, which is supplementary hypothesis. The supplementary hypothesis. I may not be able to give us detailed information or in-depth information, but I'm going to summarize in the sense that we are going to be able to actually understand what each hypothesis are trying to what information each hypothesis are trying to actually tell us. So this supplementary hypothesis, this theory states that the Moses actually wrote the important text. He wrote the core text. Actually, he wrote the important text of the Pentateuch. So, but later we have some editors who added supplementary materials to it. So they added supplementary material to it. So in this case now, we can say that this theory is telling us that Moses laid the foundation, while other editors and some other, let me call them editors, so they later added their own supplementary information in order to make it a whole book, an interesting book. But this hypothesis is telling us that Moses wrote the core or the important aspect of this text. So the supplementary hypothesis proposes that the Pentateuch was written by Moses. It was written by Moses, but later editors added supplementary material to the original text. So if we compare this to the first one, so the first one did not even mention Moses, which is the documentary hypothesis, did not even mention Moses as part of the writer. So it did not mention Moses. So that only talk about four sources or documents being responsible for the composition of the Pentateuch. But in this case, this one is telling us, the supplementary hypothesis is telling us that Moses was the main author. He was the main author, but later on we have some editors who added their own supplementary information to it. So we have some suggestion on this hypothesis. The first one is that Moses wrote the core or the important text of the Pentateuch, which was a clear and a unified work. That is, Moses wrote the core, the important text of the book. So it has a clear, unified work. And another one is that later editors, possibly during the monarchic period, so the monarchical period of the Israelite history, during the time of the kings, so or after the exile, so these editors are added new materials to the text, so which include the following. So what are these materials they added to it? So the first one is that it's possible that they were the one that added historical updates and expansion. So like I said before, that one of the reasons why we have this argument on the Mosaic authorship was the fact that it was what we call anachronism. So there are some cities that are mentioned in the Pentateuch which did not exist during the time of Moses. You understand? It did not exist during the time of Moses. So it was not possible for Moses to would have written that. So we can see a partial answer to that. So that is, it is possible that these later editors, they were the one that actually upgraded the revised Mosaic informations, and they added historical updates and expansions. So also add some clarification and explanations of the text too. Clarification and explanation of the text. So we also have some theological and ideological development that added to it, and we also have some ritual and priestly concerns that are added to it by these later editors. So another one is that these additions were actually made to address changing circumstances. So this editor or these additions it addresses It addressed the changing circumstances and concern and understanding God's relationship with Israel. So it explained that very aspect for us. So, and the last one on this part, I'm trying to make it short. So the editors they actually worked with reference for the original text. So they did not drop the original text. They only added and edited the original text. So they seek to preserve Moses' message while adapting it for new context. So they built on Mosaic messages and they actually also adapted for new context. So these people are actually believed to be the Masoretes. So in my own view, there are some set of people we call Masoretes. So the Masoretes work for years to do the work of redaction, to do the work of rearrangements of the Hebrew Bible and so on and so forth. So they added information to it. So this can be categorized as the supplementary hypothesis. The supplementary hypothesis. So this hypothesis acknowledges the complexity and diversity of the Pentateuch content while maintaining a central role for Mosaic authorship. So it acknowledges the complexity and diversity. The reason why we have diversity, it is as a result of as a result of different authors, different editors. So Moses was the main author, and we also have different editors who worked on this. So definitely there must be diversity. There must be diversity. So of information of the text. So but Mosaic authorship is maintained to be true. So it allows for a balance. So this hypothesis allows for a balance between tradition and innovation. So recognizing both the historical roots and the ongoing development of Israel's faith. So the supplementary hypothesis is often seen as a middle ground between the traditional view of Mosaic authorship and the documentary hypothesis, which is the JDP. So it attempts to account for the textual variations and additions, so while still honoring the essential unity and Mosaic core of the Pentateuch. So to simply put, this hypothesis still accept Moses being the author, the main author, and we have the various editors who actually did their own editions on it. So that can give us the answer to the reason why we have variations and differences and a lot of things in the Pentateuch. Thank you for watching.